Hey gems, welcome back to another video. Today's video is titled Allow God to Give You Beauty for Your Ashes. Alright, invite God into your pain first before the enemy gets to you. Okay, I'm speaking from experience here. I've got some things written down. I'm just going to read it because it's just going to be easier and I don't have much time. So it says, so I've written, Jesus wants to meet you in your pain before the enemy does. I promise you, he's a lot gentler than the enemy. He knows just the right time to bring up this wound or the other and allow him to clean you up good. Have you ever seen how a sword is made? So many tools pound on it until the sword is complete. I love listening to people share their testimonies of how they came to know Christ. And some of these people have such troubling past. It always leaves me in tears to hear some of the things people have experienced, but God. One will say, isn't it paradoxical to give glory to the God who allowed all of this? I'm speaking to myself as well because I've experienced some terrible things in my childhood and in my adulthood. Well, that is why channeling our anger and grief towards him is the better option than otherwise. Because most of the time it turns out their parents had a challenging childhood and it keeps going up the generation, up and up and up until it stops with one person, i.e. you, okay? He said he'll give you beauty for your ashes. It doesn't say beauty from ashes, but for, okay? It's an exchange. You don't get to keep any of your ashes. You literally exchange it for beauty. It's like you've gone to your favorite gift shop and you've picked so many beautiful items and ready to pay for it. And the cashier says you pay with ashes. It's as if to say, if you don't have ashes, you don't or you can't leave or pay for the items you've picked. Okay? So the Holy Spirit led me to look up the definition of ashes, how it is formed. It's the substance that is left after being destroyed by fire. Let the Lord's refining fire consume those dead areas so that you are left with the substance that can be exchanged for beauty. We need to allow things to die, regrets, false identities, limiting beliefs, bitterness, unforgiveness. It needs to burn to the crisp and turn to ashes. But ashes don't just mark an ending. In God's creative hands, they can mark the beginning. I found this online somewhere. And I thought it was beautiful because, like it says, it marks the beginnings of something new life. And it gave the quotation Isaiah 61 verse 3. What's the time? Okay, good. Isaiah 61. It says, and provide to those who grieve in Zion, to bestow on them a crown of beauty instead of ashes, the oil of gladness instead of mourning, and a garment of praise instead of a spirit of despair. They will be called oaks of righteousness, a planting of the Lord for the display of his splendor. Just due to time, that's why I read just the 3. I wish I could have read 1, 2, 3, but please check it out yourself. I've written, God promises to exchange ashes for beauty, offering joy instead of mourning and praise instead of despair. And it says, they also added, the phoenix is an ancient mythical bird that burns itself to ashes only to rise again. This idea of death leading to new life is not unique to Christianity, but the Phoenix legend has striking parallels to the Christian promise of resurrection. With Christ, your pain births purpose. Alternatively, with the enemy, your pain rewrites your identity and thus becoming your pain, wearing it like a badge of honor. Okay? I'm so happy I was able to squeeze this in. But I say all that to say, after I was able to do the study on ashes, people were talking about, you know, like when they have loved ones' ashes in urns, you know, in the urn vase, most of the time they don't know what to do with it when it's time for them to get rid of it, essentially, like let it go, move on, fully close that chapter. And I thought it was such a beautiful experience because it gave me a totally new idea or new understanding and empathy for those who cremate their loved ones, because some of them were talking about not even being able to bring their minds or themselves to touch, you know, touch the ashes. And I was like, wow, that's interesting, you know, because I've never really thought about it. And there was a whole Reddit blog where someone was like, how do I, you know, like when I throw it in the water, in the river, like with my hands, what happens with my hands? I'm gonna have ashes on my hands, and the thought of like my mom or my dad or whoever's passed away on my hands. And I was like, wow. So that it was just so beautiful, because some people who had gone through that experience, how they broke it down, and you know, the process they went through in order to bring themselves to accommodate the ashes, you know, to grieve and get to the point of saying, these ashes, like it's precious. It was beautiful. I'm rambling and I don't have time. But yeah, I think I'm gonna do a study on all of that, and I'm gonna bring a different word because I don't want to rush through it. It was so beautiful. I haven't finished writing it down, so I'm just going to end this here. Give God your pain, your ashes today. Okay, it's an invitation because He's ever so willing to give you beauty for them. I'm a living testimony of that. All right, my whole life was ashes. All right. And the Lord was like, bring them, Jemima. And yeah, it's been a rough journey, but it's been a much needed journey. And every day there's just something new, you know? And I'm so grateful to God for how tender He is, how patient He is. It's just so beautiful, you know, that He's so mindful of me and of you. So I pray that you take in, like you succumb, okay? You submit to His invitation today. All right? Until next time, take care and God bless. Bye-bye.